RMBI gene, here to take you on another level and new horizons.
Hey everybody, my name is Reggie Maddox, and I'm the host of the Simply Straight Talk Show, so make sure you hit that like, subscribe, make sure you leave a comment. Now, real quick, I just want to talk to you about something that people ask me about, which is me being an introvert. Now, there are a lot of myths about introverts, and one of the things that people don't understand is that, well, some of the things that people say is that introverts don't like people, introverts don't want to hang out with people, introverts are party poopers. No. The thing about introverts is that introverts do have friends. So it's not that we don't have friends, we do have friends. It's just that whereas an extrovert is a very socially active person that loves engaging with other people, introverts do like to engage with other people, but it is a select group of people. So whereas extroverts are willing to share and put out more information about themselves, introverts are more restricted in that area. Introverts prefer to really just keep their life private unless it's with that select group. Now, with an introvert, you got to realize something. Whereas an extrovert may have up to 10 or 20 people or 30 people, you know what I'm saying, depending on their personality, that they hang out with, like to talk to, call, and all this type stuff. An extrovert may have anywhere from 1 to 5 people that they call close friends, that they communicate with. And and the thing about extroverts, I mean true introverts now, I'm talking about true introverts like myself, we're not really phone people. We're not going to be on the phone for 2 and 3 hours. No, we rather text you. When we go out to eat, we primarily go at times when we know restaurants are the least crowded. Going to the movies is primarily when the movies are the least crowded. So that's just something that you got to keep in mind, that when you're dealing with an introvert, and an introvert in the workplace can be very challenging, especially if you're working with a bunch of extroverts. Extroverts are people, like I said, they're very socially active. They love to talk. They love to engage in conversation. Whereas, they love to do lunch together. Whereas introverts are not like that. It's like, if it's time for lunch, I'm going to go take my lunch and then I'm going to come back and go to work. Whereas extroverts are like, hey, where you going to lunch at? Everybody want to hang out and do all that stuff. So I think it's just a big part of the introvert that people don't understand. Introvert, like when people come to a job, they want to ask you all these questions. Where you from? All this kind of stuff. Introverts don't really want to share that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like, what's the point? You got to realize something, that when an introvert shares information with you, there has to be some connection or some rational reason that it's relevant to you. If it's not relevant to you, then it's like, what is the purpose of me sharing this information to you? Because people seem to enjoy obtaining information, and introverts are like, I don't like disseminating information like that to just any and everybody. Whereas extroverts are probably happy to share that stuff, introverts are not. And you got to remember something too, that introverts, people say, well, introverts are not good to own their own business because they don't like being out there. No, introverts are very good at doing business. They're very good at actually going out and marketing their business and doing everything they can with their business. The only thing about an introvert is it's probably just going to be business, whereas an extrovert will probably do a lot of he and ha-ha, and an introvert is probably going to be more straight to the point. This is the business. It's going to be a polite, professional, and courteous conversation, whereas an extrovert would probably be a little more jokey, hee ha-ha, laughing up and going all the way around the world and getting to the point. Introverts are probably more straight to the point. Like I said, an introvert, when it comes to phones, not really phone conversations, introverts rather text. Send me a text. You know what I'm saying? It's different. And have I had challenges with being an introvert? Definitely, because you are truly misunderstood. Because a lot of the places I worked, and people I work with, they really do think of it as, they're more extroverts. And true introverts are very few. I'm gonna say that right now. True introverts are very few. You know, you have a lot of extroverts, then you have a lot of people who are in that middle barrier where they're an extrovert and they got a little bit of introvert. But when I'm talking about a true introvert, it is really a tough spot to be in because it is very few of us. And as an introvert, you will be drained quickly. And that's the thing about an introvert. If you put an introvert in a situation to where they're at this party, they're gonna feel drained, and they're gonna be like, okay, I'm feeling drained, I'm feeling tired, because it's like they're having to expend so much energy to entertain, and there's nothing coming back. Remember, introverts are really built on intellectual stimulation. So random fluff, you know, happy-go-lucky talking just to be talking conversations don't really fly well with an introvert. Extroverts love that stuff, but it doesn't really work well as far as with an introvert. Introvert like conversation that has a point, that has an objective. So you got to remember that. And introverts do have sense of humor. We do love to joke, but just keep in mind that introverts primarily will do this with people that they're in that close-knit circle with. They're not going to do it with people that they really don't know. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know, it is challenging. It's challenging because, you know, I find that people, you know, really want to I speak for me. There's a lot of people who want to know things about you, and I'm kind of like, why? Why do you want to know that? You know, like somebody asked me today, so where did you grow up? What street you grew up on? It's like, are you from that area? No. Then what's the purpose of you knowing what street I grew up on? Why? What's the purpose of that? Well, what are you gonna get out of that? I mean, honestly, what are you gonna get out of it? You know what I'm saying? So, because like people ask you questions and they're not questions that's really relevant to them. It's not gonna benefit them. The questions they're asking you is just being nosy pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like they're fishing for something. So with introverts, it's like, yeah, if you're in my little small clique or circle of friends that I have, like I said, with a true introvert that is very small, then yes, we can talk about that type stuff. But if you're just somebody that I work with or somebody that I just see and I don't consider you as part of that connection, then I have no need to share that information with you. And I'm not, and you don't be surprised, like introverts are not gonna ask you stuff. Like people are surprised when it's like birthdays. It's like, I don't even tell people when it's my birthday. I work for one company, they had my birthday completely wrong, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Because I mean, you wish me happy birthday, why? You know what I'm saying? It's just the way an introvert is. It's not bad, it's just that, you know, some things are just formalities and they're meaningless coming from other people. And that's just the truth of it. It's just being honest. So, those are the things that you have to realize when you're dealing with an introvert. When you're dealing with an introvert, you know, you can't take it as, oh, they don't like me or they're mean or they're antisocial. No, they are social with their specific group of people. Most introverts, if you speak, they'll speak, but they're just not going to engage in the conversation that you probably want to engage in. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to engage in small talk. If it's work related or something that's intellectually stimulating, then yes, you're probably going to get some conversation from them, but don't be upset if the conversation doesn't last that long because, you know, there's a meter there. And a lot of people really don't get that. So a lot of people, especially if you're that arrogant person that like to just hype yourself up, like, yeah, I was a police officer for this many years and I did this and I did that. Oh yeah, da 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 da. Don't be surprised if an introvert just look at you crazy and think of a reason and end up just leaving you, let you talk to yourself. Because that's just not the stuff that introverts are into. You know, arrogant, stuck up people. Introverts really don't have time for that type of conversation. You know, so you just got to be mindful of that when you're dealing with an introvert. Like I said, I have my challenges. as being an introvert, and a lot of it is that people misunderstand you because you may be more quiet, you may be more reserved. Some people are going to take you as being weak. Some people are going to take you as not being able to speak up for yourself. Some people are going to take it as you're antisocial. Some people are going to take it that, you know, you think you're better than them. No, it's just that, you know, our introvert will speak up when there's a time to speak. We pick and choose our battles, which probably everybody does. But introverts don't just engage in everything, whereas some people look for a reason to get involved in something. Introverts don't. You know, introverts like me, I can be happy at home reading a book, listening to music, working on my projects, writing music, working on my podcast show, and you know, it's just, you have to be understanding of that, you know, so you just got to kind of keep that in mind. So if you're an introvert like me, I think you can probably understand. Somebody else is probably going to listen to this and say, it doesn't make any sense. You know, you're just antisocial. No, you know, I think as an introvert, I do enjoy going to the movies. I do enjoy going out to different places. But I think my stuff is just a little more planned and structured. Now, do I like going to clubs and parties? If somebody invites me, I will probably not go. But if I'm in a corner and there's somebody within my close circle of friends and they say, hey, listen, I want you to come to this party, I will come. But true friends who know their friend is an introvert know that, listen, they're coming, but they're probably going to be gone, okay, in about 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because when somebody asks me to come to a party, I'm already planning on how I don't want to go and what excuse I can use not to go. Sometimes I just tell you I don't want to go. But the other thing is that, you know, if I do go, I'm already planning like, okay, I'm going here. And for things like that, I'm hoping the party is crowded so I won't be noticed when I leave. But, you know, it's not offensive. It's just that that's me. Okay, that's me, because like I say, there's extroverts and there's people in the middle who's a little extrovert and then they're introvert as well. Then you got people like me who are just pure introverts. You know what I'm saying? So that's about it, man. You know, I just want to let that out there. Life of an introvert, baby. Life of an introvert. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, because sometimes you do get lonely, like, man, and this is a real introvert now. Me, you do feel like, wow, I wish I had somebody, you know, like a girlfriend. And that's another thing. Relationships are a bit of a challenge, because if you, like me being a true introvert, to meet somebody who's an extrovert is a challenge, because if she's that person that like to be in the clubs and party and all that, we're gonna have issues, because that's not me. Now, if I had somebody who was a little bit of an extrovert but was an introvert but had a little extrovert in them, that would be fine, because that I can deal with, because there will be an understanding. So it is a challenge in meeting somebody who understands, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, relationship challenges as an introvert is something else. But anyway, video's long enough. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, check out the Simply Straight Talk Show. New episode dropping this Friday for season 7, okay? And the topic of that show is going to be sexual incompatibility in relationships. You don't want to miss it.
Let him revitalize you. It's time to tune in. This here's so fire. Empower your voice to inspire. Yeah, RMBI Gene.